Today we are going to discuss about dictionary, and we are going to study that what is dictionary, what is the data type, and how do we store values in our dictionary. So let's start our lecture. So if we see in our real world scenarios, if we use a dictionary in our day to day life, then what we have to do, we have to search the name in the dictionary and the resultant value for it. Like if we want to search the meaning of any word, then we have to find that word, and specific to that word there would be some meaning for that word. So same dictionary concept is applied here in the Python, that we have a key is basically the value which we want to find, and the value is that the meaning which we are looking in the dictionary. So our word is key and the meaning is the value in dictionary. So let us see that how we can initialize the dictionary. So let me take d here, and if we execute it successfully. Now if we check the type, that what is type of a d variable, so let me check the type here. So type of d is dictionary. So basically when we create two curly braces, then it by default taken as a dictionary until we pass some value inside it. Like in sets also start with curly braces, but in sets we don't have key value pairs, we just have single comma separated values, but in dictionary we have key value pairs with comma separated. So if we see here, that let me take set here, or let me take s is equal to and curly braces here, and let me take 2 3 4, and now if we check the type of s, so what is the type of s? So if we check the type of s, it is set. So basically we can see that we are initializing both with the curly braces, but in set we are using single separate value with comma separation, but in dictionary we have to use key value pairs. So this is the basic difference between dictionary and a set. So now we are going to deeply study about dictionary, that how we can assign values in dictionary, what are keys, what are values, what are pairs. So let's understand it in better and deep way. So let me take another dictionary here, and this is our dictionary. So our first value is our key. So key must be unique, like key is just to identify the value, like with the name which we are looking for and the value. So key must be unique. Like if we use this same key again, then the next time when we use this key, the value which we assign to key on that time, that will get assigned to that key, and this value will get vanished. So now we run it, we can see that our dictionary stores our key and the value. Let me call it here. So if we run it, we are getting key and value. So this is our key could be anything, like it must be unique. Let me use my name here, or name as a key. So now if we run it, it executes successfully, and we can again display. So we can see that this is our key and this is our value. So we can also call value from the key, like if we pass the key here, then we also can get the value here. So we can see that our key we take first, and then we have to assign the value, and we have to use this colon to separate them. Now if we want to assign multiple here, like multiple keys and values, so we can assign them here. Like if I want to save age here, so key must be in string, and let me take here, like let me take my age here, or and if I take like here my number, so this is my number randomly I am passing it. We can see that on integers we don't have to give this this comma, inverted commas on it, but here we have to give, because this is a string. Now if we run it, we can see that we are getting our other keys and values also in this dictionary. Earlier I just missed something, that it always takes string as a key, but we can also use number, because we want key to be unique, but it is important to use some meaningful name so that we can get our data for that key. Like if I had updated it, Now we are getting that 4 is our key and the value is 18, but it is always recommended to use meaningful name so that in future we can understand better about what we have to call and what do we expect from our output in our dictionary. So let me again take a new dictionary here. So this is our dictionary, and in our dictionary let me create a key value. So earlier we had passed our key in inverted commas. So let me take here number as we had seen earlier, and number we are assigning some string value, like I am passing ADF. Now if we run it, it executes successfully, but let me assign something here, like if I had passed integer here. So let me take here some add, and this is my key name, and key I am passing some value like this, but we can see that it is already giving us some error. Add is not defined. So basically Python could not understand that what is this add, because if we use inverted commas around it, then it would get to know that this is a string, but without inverted commas Python would get confused that this is not integer. So what is this, or it is what is the type of this key? So we have to define here that this is the type, that it is a string type. Now we can see that it does not show any error, and it will get successfully completed. Or let me take some special character here, like if I am taking some special character like at the rate. So now we can also see that it is giving us an error. Dictionary entries must contain key value pair. So expected expression, now it does not assigning some any value to it, because this is not allowed. This is a reserved keyword, like these are special characters, we cannot use them to assign any kind of value. So if we use in a string, then it will give us no any kind of error. So we can see that unterminated string, so it is giving us oh sorry, let me give commas, and now if we run it, we can see that it executes successfully. So inside the inverted commas as a string we can pass any kind of key, and it must be unique, so that in future if we want to call the value for that key, we could get that. But it is not necessary that we always use key as unique. We can use the key of the same name, like this is our key, and we can pass some value to it, like this is our value here. Now if we run it, it executes successfully. But when we have to call it, like if I want to get the value for this key, so what would we expect, that what kind of value would it give? Will it give us this value, or will it give us this value? We will see it later. Now so there is a special keyword in our dictionary which is used to check the keys. So let me run it, and if we execute our keys, so we can see that our dictionary contains only two types of keys, like it takes 12 as our key and add as our key. But we can see that we had passed this key two times, and there are two separate values for these keys. So what do we expect, that what value will it store and what will get vanished? So how do we call the value, or if we want to get the value for add, like for this? So we have to, just we had seen in lists, that we have to use the square bracket, and square bracket we use to pass the index to get the value of that specific index. Here we have to pass the value of key. So now I am passing inverted comma, so it automatically detected that first was integer, and for string there is only one value, because there are two values, but in keys it is getting only one value, because it allows only unique value for a key. Now if we run it, and if we check that what value does it display, either it will show this or this. So let me execute it. So we can see that it overridden the previous value, that it overridden our previous key value, and it passed the value which we assigned later. So it is always recommended to use different key name. Now we had changed the name of our key. Now if we run it, and if we check the keys here, so now we can see that we are getting different keys, like we are getting 3 keys. And now if we check the value of add, we can see that we are getting the value for our key. So it is recommended to always use a unique key name to save your values and check that what value is assigned at what key. Let me update my dictionary, like if I take boolean value here, true, and I want to assign some number to it, like this is our number. Now if we run it, it executes successfully because it allows the boolean value to store value in it. Now if we check the keys, we will get true in our key as well. But now let me call true here. So do we need to call the true inside our inverted commas? So let me run it. We can see that we are getting error. It does not get that what is true. So true is a boolean and special type of character, so we do not have to pass it in inverted commas. We have to just call it using the name. So we can see that we are getting our value. Now if we want to, if let me, if I pass 1 here, so what do we expect our output? Because there none of our key name is 1. So if we run it, we are getting the same value as for true. As we had earlier studied that for true, by default our system reads true as 1 and false as 0. So as our true is this value, so for 1 it also indicates that the value of true here as well. So let me take a new dictionary here. So dictionary 3, and let me take my value here. So value is here like sir. I am just using this as a key, and I am for here I am passing my name here, and here I am taking students. So let me type students. So for students we can also pass list here. So in our list we can pass the name of student, like if I pass list of my name, yeah, Ali, comma, Usman. Now if we run it, we can see that it executes successfully, and if we call our dictionary here, so we can see that we are getting our dictionary. So how we can access the data from our dictionary? So we have just used the indexes concept, like square brackets. In square brackets we have to pass our key. So what is our key? We have to pass our key here. So we can see that we are getting list. But if we want to get specific index from the list, so we can see that in our index of list, we first index is 0, second is 1, and third is 2. So if I want to get value at the first index, so this is my 0 and this is my first index. So we can see that we are getting value of our second index. This is we had already seen our list lecture. So you can go, please watch that how we can use it indexing concept in list, and there are a lot of other functions in list which we had studied very deeply. Now let me take another dictionary here, and this time we are going to store dictionary inside our dictionary. So let me just copy this whole, and let me add a dictionary inside it, that we can see that we can take list and dictionary as well inside. So we have to separate this with comma, then we have to pass the name of dictionary. Let me take subject here, and inside subject we have to use now curly braces, and curly braces first will contain the value. So like the student who studies subject, and what is the name of subject, we have to pass the name of student subject here, Python, and let me use comma, and let me take name of student, then we have to use semicolon, then we have to use here name of subject. So we are using Java. So now we had created another dictionary. Inside dictionary we have list as well as our dictionary also. So now let me call our dictionary here. So now if we run it, we can see that we are getting our whole dictionary here. So now if we want to call the dictionary inside our dictionary, so how we are calling already, we have to pass the name of dictionary. So like we have subject here, and inside subject we want to find the name of student, like we want to check that which student is studying which subject. So let me take a name here, and we will get to know that this in subject student, name of the student is reading this subject. So here we had seen that how we can store dictionary inside a dictionary, and how we can call dictionary using sub dictionary, and as we had already seen for our list here as well, that how we can get the data from the list, and now we had seen that how we can get a dictionary data from the dictionary. Now there are built-in functions in for our dictionary. There is a keyword name delete, we use a del, and we have to use our name of dictionary. So we have d4, and d4 we have to just pass the name of the key which we want to delete. So here if I pass the name of the key, and our key name is subject. Now if we run it, it executes successfully, and if we now check the value of d4, So we can see that it deleted the subject for us. There are only now two keys. Earlier there were three keys like sir, student and subject, but now it deleted this key along with its value. So now the key and its value also get deleted from the dictionary, and now we have only two keys left in our dictionary. There is also a built-in function to check the keys and values, as we had seen earlier that we have to, if we use key there, so we will get all the keys in our dictionary. So this is our dictionary, and if we convert it into a list so that we can get better understanding around it, so let me just convert it into a list. And now if we run it, we are getting that we are just getting our keys. Now if I want to get the values for our dictionary, for that what values are assigned in our dictionary, so we can see that we are getting all the values. Earlier we were getting all the keys, now we are getting all the values. And let me convert this into a list, so for better clear visualization, so let me convert the list. Now we can see that this is our first value and this is our second value. Now if we want to get all the keys and values, like earlier we were getting keys separately and values separately, so if we want to get all the keys and values along with it, so there is a function which is known as items. So if we call the items, now item will give us the key and the respective value for it. Now let me convert into a list for better visualization, so let me just convert into a list. So now we can see that this is our key, this is our value. So items is giving us both the keys and values of our dictionary. So let me take here like another function which is pop name. So pop will basically work same as our remove function. It will just remove the key and value. So we have to just pass here our key. So our key here is, let me check the list. So our key is subject. So let me just copy this key and its value. Now if we check our key for dictionary, so we can see that it popped the value for us. But in lists we know that if we don't pass the index number, it would pop the last element. But in dictionary we have to pass the key values, because in dictionary we have just key value, but in dictionary in list we have indexes. So in indexes, if we do not pass the index number, it will always pop the last index value of the list. But here dictionary, in dictionaries we have to pass the value of the key to delete it from the list. So that's it for today. Today we had deeply understand about what are dictionaries and what are functions used in our dictionaries, and how we can store values inside our dictionary. So please try to practice it and try different permutations and combinations to get better understanding around the dictionaries. So that's it for today. See you in next lecture. Bye.